A major WWE star has been written off TV indefinitely. Plus, an ex-AEW star has joined NXT, and a bizarre TNA gimmick match returns next week. It's all in the wrestling news right now.
Is the reverse battle royal? Sorry, I know that one's good. No, okay, fair enough.
It's not the reverse battle royal, unfortunately. I'm so sorry about that.
Drat.
FYI, there's been a lot of CM Punk drama over the last 24 hours because there's a Y in the day. So we talked about it extensively in video 1. So if you're looking for the latest on that, go check out video 1. If you wonder why we're not talking about it here, it's because we talked about it all over there.
Absolutely.
Have some fun with that. A major star from WWE is taking some well-deserved time off, and we don't know when they're going to be back, do we?
No, this comes after Bianca Belair was attacked by Damage Control. Apparently, this was designed to have her written off TV indefinitely. Fightful Select saying that Bianca was written off WWE TV for the time being. She was planned for some time off, and that was factored in creatively. However, Fightful do go on to say they've heard differing things on how long she could be out, ranging from a few weeks to maybe as long as 3 months or so, which would suggest perhaps that, you know, when sometimes wrestlers put off getting some sort of surgery or procedure done because it would lead to an extended amount of time off to recover from it. Maybe it's that's pure speculation on my part. Maybe it's just a really long holiday.
Yeah, because, I mean, she's been a real grafter.
Oh, yeah.
It's during her entire year-long run as women's champion, you know, and she was not just on a weekly basis wrestling, but she was constantly out and about doing Make-A-Wish trips and community work as well, appearing on TV shows all over the place. Yeah. She was on every press call. She was all over the place. So she's really put a shift in well over a year.
She's a real ambassador for the company, isn't she? Yeah.
Really, a really strong ambassador for the company. And so, there's no definite time for her return. It could just be a couple of weeks and then get back in time for Survivor Series. We may not see her until maybe closer to Christmas.
And you know what? First of all, as I think we've said there, she fully deserves it. But also, I think that this could help her out because, unfortunately, and it was through no fault of her own, I just think it was from being on top for quite a long time, especially as a babyface. I think the fans had started to not sour on her, but just become less enthusiastic about her, whereas this could be a nice moment to just reset, come back, and get a nice kind of restart her momentum again when she comes back.
We've seen the New Day start to build momentum once more. We've had numerous injuries that have stopped Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, at least, from being together. And there's a slight bump in the road for Xavier Woods, isn't there?
There is. He revealed on Twitter that as a result of getting a steel chair thrown at him on Raw, he unfortunately received whiplash. He said, "Doctor's orders, no wrestling next week. Was pumped to be out there on my birthday. Oh, but it looks like I'll be spending it at home next Monday. See y'all the week after." So very much in contrast to the Bianca story, he's put a definitive time frame on this. He said, "I'm missing next week, but the one after, he'll be back in action." Seems like the correct thing to do.
Absolutely. I think the WWE have got so much better with this. I mean, I've been a fan of WWE since the 80s. So, to see how that process is of injury now, you won't get wrestlers having to work injured unless they absolutely necessarily wish to and have to. And more often than not, they don't. They would rather just forego storyline plans and let people come away and get the time off they need.
And you can see even these days, it's been remarked upon how wrestlers are continuing to wrestle at a high level later and later into their careers. People like AJ Styles, for example, are just because of things like this, they're able to elongate their careers, and it all becomes, I mean, wrestling's still incredibly grueling, obviously, but at least they get the time they need sometimes to recover.
Absolutely. Be well soon, Xavier Woods.
Yes.
Now, there was some speculation on this happening a month or so ago. We can now confirm via PW Insider that we've got a new face at the NXT, in the NXT Performance Center.
It's former AEW star Brian Pillman Jr., who started at the Performance Center this week. Apparently, he took part in a tryout last month in Orlando, which I assume went well then, if he's there.
It must have gone very well. His last indie appearance was earlier in the month, where he lost to Kerry Morton at the Gathering 4. After that, there was a nice bit where we see Kerry Morton praising Brian Pillman Jr. and saying that he's off to bigger ball fields and
ball fields.
Ball fields.
Oh, I always think ballpark, but ball field as well. Yeah, fair enough.
Baseball-y.
Yeah,
isn't it? Do they call it a ball field in Rounders?
I reckon, I reckon they say ballpark, but maybe you know what? I'm not American. I don't know.
You put yourself down, sir. This is a good.
I'm just not American enough.
I just wish I was American. Brian Pillman Jr. in NXT, I think, is a great place to start things.
Yeah.
There's so much potential there, and I just would love to see him really find his new sound and find his character.
Yes.
I wonder whether they'll change his name.
Maybe they will. PW Insider is told apparently there's no rush to debut him particularly. He is only 29 at the minute, which isn't like the youngest in wrestling, but as we've said, careers go on longer these days and stuff. He's still got plenty of time to hit his peak and everything. There's no rush to debut him on television, and apparently the initial plan is to get him into the Performance Center system and allow him to get his feet under him. Usually with someone who's been on TV for such a big promotion as AEW, fans would be getting quite impatient, saying, "No, come on, they're better than that. Get them through now." But I think in Pillman's case, not that he's not good, but there seemed to be it seemed like he never got quite the consistent run that maybe he was looking for. Maybe this is a wise move after all, actually.
This might be a sensible way to do it. And also WWE like people to learn the WWE way.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
Play to the hard camera.
I'm curious to see what becomes of Griff Garrison then, because in their tag team, I always saw Griff as like the louder, bigger, like the, whoa, look at him. And then Pillman was maybe better on the mic, you could argue, but I think in the ring, it was Griff getting the hot tag. It was him running wild and everything. And I was like, oh, what's this Griff guy about? So hopefully, despite the team being split up and everything, hopefully his career continues to do well too.
One that we'll keep an eye on. Could somebody's career in TNA be coming to an end next week? It could be if they dare to step into this bizarre TNA gimmick match, making a return.
I'll tell you what, Tom.
Go on.
One thing that Impact have done really well in the past few years is they've got their sense of fun back about them without going too far in classic sort of TNA fashion and just becoming a silly mess. They're kind of self-aware. They know some of the sillier parts of their own history and they're not afraid to play into it. And I always think that comes across really well.
And it will do here. TNA Impact 1000 being recorded on September the 9th from the Westchester County Center in White Plains, New York. We're going to see returns of TNA stars like Team 3D,
Yes.
the Beautiful People,
Yes.
Awesome Kong.
Yes.
I believe Gail Kim's there as well. And we'll also see the return of long-forgotten TNA gimmick match, Feast or Fired.
Oh my God. Now, for those of you who don't know the concept of Feast or Fired, it's a weird one. It's like a quadruple Money in the Bank ladder match. There's 4 briefcases. It's a big multi-person match. 4 of them will pull down briefcases, and then they'll have like a briefcase opening ceremony after the match where they'll go, what's my prize going to be? Now, I think the most recent incarnations of this, there's been a title shot inside 3 of the briefcases. So world title shot, hooray! X Division title shot, hooray! Tag title shot, hooray!
Bomb.
Yeah, it's getting a bit Brian Butterfield. But you may have noticed it's called Feast or Fired, which means that you might open the fired briefcase. It's one of the weirdest stipulations. You'd lose your job if you, it's an odd one.
You risk it all.
Yeah.
It's like poker, innit? You play your hand.
It is. Yeah, it's like poker.
For me, though, they went, if I was a TNA wrestler at the time, they go, John, you want to compete in Feast or Fired? I go, no. I would not want to risk my job, and I will earn a title shot the old-fashioned way.
Ah, very good. Even though you are 75% likely to get a title shot if you pull down one of the briefcases, that's 25 is quite a big risk though for a job, isn't it?
But all men aren't created equal, and if you look 75% if you're Scott Steiner,
yes,
and
you add Kurt Angle to the mix, and your chances of winning drastic go down.
I'm up for that though.
That match is coming back. Yes, it could contain title shots or it could contain a contract release. It says here the last Feast or Fire match was in 2018 when Moose won the world title case, P.T. Williams won the X Division case, which is convenient given that Moose is far too big to be, and Eli Drake won the tag team case, and EC3 got fired. And he's now the NWA World Heavyweight Champion.
See, so even in getting fired in Feast or Fired, one day you too can have a banger match with Tyrus.
Life is a roller coaster, as Ronan Keating once said.
And I want my money back.
Yes.
Right, we'll have more wrestling news, I think, throughout the day.
If we need to talk for a little bit more,
I think we could.
I was going to say thanks to everyone in store in London. Thank you, everybody.
Oh, gosh, do
I'll do that.
Do a big thank you.
Thanks so much to everybody who came to say hello to us in London. We all had a great time. Thank you as well. A special shout out to my 3 colleagues who were there as well, because they honestly they knocked it out of the park. You know how great they are, Tom, but a special shout out to Luke Osborne, Pierce Graffin, and the man himself, Clive F.
Jackie
Orlando, the rambunctious one himself, Jack Atkins too. Thank you to all three of those guys. They certainly made the weekend an absolute breeze, and I couldn't thank them enough.
We're very grateful. The amount of love that Cultaholic got shown at 100%. Wembley by you. As we, just the other week we hit over 800,000 subscribers.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
And to see like what happened with you surrounded by.
Oh my God, it was hectic, but it was great fun though.
Carnage.
Yeah, and after that video, kind of stayed behind and chatted to everybody. And honestly, I don't have a single negative experience. Everyone was so kind. Pierce, I gave him the microphone. He took the camera and off he ran into the night to edit the video. And I felt bad because he's off doing the real work, and I'm staying and everyone's telling me, "Oh, it was great." And I'm like, so a big shout out to the rest of the boys as well who went down.
We have a great team, and we can do this job because of you. So we appreciate you. Thank you. We'll have more wrestling news throughout the day at cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.